We're back with another WWE 2K25 video, hopefully a little more better news this time. Now, we finally got some DLC reviews throughout the week. My apologies to those because I have not been covering it as much as I probably should have. But you know what? We're here today. The week is coming up. We're getting DLC, the Switch 2 version. There's going to be a lot of content on the channel. So if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button. If you are a returning viewer and haven't hit that subscribe button yet, make sure you guys go on ahead and do that for me because it just helps the channel. Let's go on ahead and get into it. The first entrance that we're going to go on ahead and look at that was just released, honestly, a couple minutes ago, the time that I'm recording this video, New Jack. He looks absolutely amazing. He comes to the ring with a trash can, a guitar. I mean, it's just a really, really cool looking attire. It just looks great. Now, one thing that Brian Williams mentioned a while ago was that when he goes into the match with this entrance, and it's an Extreme Rules match, he'll throw the weapons inside of the ring and the match starts off just like that. So if you guys ever played AEW Fight Forever and you guys ever played the Lights Out match, it sort of looks like that at the beginning of the match. The weapons are already inside of the ring if it is a no disqualification match. So I think that is really cool. We need things like this that breathe new life and new air into this game because I truly think that this is a good game for gameplay, but everything else has really just been off the walls lately. Now, with all of that being said, New Jack looks good. We saw Boo Nakano. We saw some wrestlers. We saw, this is one of the packs that have, those wrestlers and everything of that nature. So I am excited to see. The only guy that we're missing now at this point, I believe, is KSI from this celebrity. And we haven't seen him just yet, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll have to see what happens with that. Penta is someone that has not been revealed yet. And I'm just so glad that a lot of these wrestlers are getting their own animations and things that make them unique to themselves, right? We've never seen, I think, at least I haven't seen a wrestler that walks to the ring with a bunch of weapons and stuff and just throws them in the ring and the match starts that way. I think that that's really cool. That's really, creative in a way that a wrestler can have that type of animation to start the match. So that is something that I want to go on ahead and point out. Y'all know me, man. I tried to be transparent. I like to throw good kudos. I like to say when things are bad. So this is one of the really cool things in this game, in my opinion. But with all of that being said, we got this DLC pack right around the corner, man. What can we expect, right? From what I've seen there, it looks like mostly weapons that I've probably already seen in the game. Regardless, I don't know, man. I would have loved to see some thumbtacks, right? I don't know what the approval rate or everything for that is, but I would really like to see some thumbtacks in the game at some point. I feel like that is something that we're due for at this point. I'm really excited to see, what this DLC could bring. I already saw Brian Williams talk about the animations that will pertain to certain wrestlers, so I'm excited to see how that's going to go. Like one of the animations last year that I liked from the September pack was Dragon Lee. He gets to remove his knee pad and go for a move with it. So I'm hoping that, this year we just continue seeing more of that. After this pack, bro, that's crazy. We're already on the third DLC pack. We're going to go all of August with no DLC. So hopefully my faction decides to pick things up. But after August, we got September and then we got November. And that's it. Those are our 5 DLC packs, which is actually crazy that we're already more or almost more than halfway through the DLC pack cycle. And yes, we're still a while away from getting through this whole cycle, but after November, man, we're back to the races and we're talking about WWE 2K26. And I completely understand if you guys don't want to talk about that game just yet because of all the issues that have been happening with 2K25. But nonetheless, I am excited for this DLC pack. I am excited for the Switch 2 version. I'm hoping that is a solid handheld experience compared to what we've seen in the past on the Switch consoles. So I think that this is all, a good thing. And it's probably one of the more monumental weeks of the year for 2K25 aside from the launch, because we are getting a second launch with more new things. And people have talked about a potential DLC pack coming out and just, something that's secondary to what this DLC pack will be, because this is the Fearless pack with no Nikki Bella. People have mentioned that the hat of Nikki Bella has been removed from the creation suite, which usually means that they may be gearing up for something bigger. So they need to go on ahead and add that back if that's not going to happen, right? But we'll have to see what happens because I have seen some people talk about the creation suite and what has been removed. So honestly, I am excited to see what can go down this upcoming week, in the 2K community, because man, oh man, this has been a hell of a last week for them. And I think that they need to do something to really just turn it around, right? I mean, I don't know if 2K really cares much about PR. I don't know how that works for video games, if I'm being honest, but this has been one of the worst weeks, you know, in terms of the community turning against the game and whatnot. Even though, man, again, I really think that this is a fun gameplay experience. Just everything else, man, like just even going back to my faction, and I wanted to make a separate video about it, but you know, whatever, it is what it is. World Tour mode, where is that mode, right? My faction in August, that's something that I'm really kind of looking forward to, simply because there is no DLC that month. So what can you do that particular month, you know, to give us content, right? World Tour would be a perfect thing to do. Give us a second country, give us something different in August. Why is it that we got just one country and we haven't heard about the mode since? We got a slight update with 3 more cities, and that was pretty much it. I don't know, man. I think that sometimes it's just really just mind-boggling, because everything good that comes to the game, sometimes it just feels like, we got to pull back on that a little bit. Like even the CM Punk Persona card that's coming out that you may need characters for, and the way to obtain those characters is by spending money. It makes you think, like, those cards that were in the game last year that you had to spend money for, why are they not free this year? You know, why are they not in there this year? Like, World Tour should be the key to a lot of those cards that, you know, we've been waiting on and people, you know, wasn't able to get last year because of money and whatnot. Like, why not just let us go on a World Tour and grind that, man? Like, World Tour is simply, you know, a really, really good idea. So many people were, you know, behind them at the beginning of the year. Where is this mode at? This mode molded my faction this year, in my opinion, to be a mode that was worth looking into. You know, this was a way that they got people to get on this mode and see what was going on in this mode. Where is it? That's just my 2 cents, right? I think that World Tour, there were a couple things wrong with it that they could have done better, but for the most part, this was a really good mode that got people into the mode, that got people, you know, wanting to play this mode. And when I look at my faction and I look at every other Ultimate Team around sports games, even though this is what, year 4, 22, 23, 24, yeah, this is year 4. When you look at this mode compared to every other Ultimate Team mode, this mode is light years behind. There's just so much stuff that's in every other mode. Like, I would love to see a co-op mode where we can use multiple cards and go in there and level up. Where's a level system? Just, I don't know, man. I don't know. I just feel like when you look at this mode and you look at everything else, it just doesn't feel like after 4 years we've seen the significant improvements that we've needed to see in this mode to, you know, really go out there. And whenever we see an improvement, it feels like that improvement just kind of almost goes out the window, right? Like when things seem to be, you know, kind of grindable and affordable, they tweaked pack prices. Then World Tour, another thing where we can grind, get tokens, get coins, get cards. We haven't seen it since. So just my 2 cents with that, right? I'm hoping that with this DLC update, we kind of get like a season update, right? Give us all new stuff, give us new cards to grind for, give us a World Tour mode. That mode right there, man, could be your bread and butter. I can't say it enough. Drop it with every DLC, right? I know that the My Faction team is fairly small, but man, if you want people in the door, this is a perfect way to get people in the door and get people on your side by giving away, you know, some Persona cards that may be worth it to people, right? Triple H 99, he costs hella bread to get, bro. I'm not grinding for him, bro. I'm sorry. It's just, I'm not spending that money for him. There's just so much stuff, you know, with my faction, and it really hurts because I was pushing this mode at the beginning of the year. Now I look crazy. I don't know, man. Hopefully we do see some significant improvements all around, especially with the patch that we are going to get, because you guys know we always get a patch around this time. We should be expecting that patch between Tuesday and Wednesday, so make sure to stay tuned for that. Nonetheless, guys, thank you so much for watching this video and the support. I'm gonna catch y'all. Peace.